Good evening, my wonderful, wonderful drops of shadow, and welcome to the season 2 premiere of Into the Shadows, episode 1. Tonight, tonight's going to be an interesting night for me, at least, because it's a night of new beginnings. It's a night of, one might say, rebirth, a reboot, if you will. So, let's start off first and foremost with some of what I call the old business, but important, of course, and that is to do what you can to help out Kinko down below. You'll notice the link down below is a Teespring link. Buy yourself one of the Kinko Strong t shirts. I highly recommend you do so. It's great. Great fashion statement and a show of support, and it helps Kinko out so this way medical bills something that he'll won't have to worry about. So do that if you can. That's one. Two, this is important as well. I want you to download the Live 365 app, check out Hellfire Radio there. You'll be able to listen to me, of all people, everywhere you go. You'll be able to check us out at hellfireradio.com as well as Instagram. We also broadcast on Twitch, YouTube, hi, how are you? As well as Facebook Live, which is where I'm at as well. So, hopefully, you are listening to me somewhere there now, and hopefully, you'll continue to do so. So, now that's being said, let's see who we currently have. Which one of my drops of shadow have decided to make themselves known? Well, we've got Tyler and Ronald, Elizabeth. We've got my good brother Tyson. So glad to see you. And Beth, yes. Yes, we've had so many wonderful people. Dawn, I am so happy to see you here. It's great. It is great to see so many here tonight. So, let's have a little bit of a conversation, shall we? You see, tonight, tonight is the first night of the year. First night I get to talk to all of you. And you know what? Hmm. There's a lot to be concerned about, with the condition of the world as it is. And you gotta wonder what's going to be happening next. Fear of the future. Why does it frighten us? When do we see it? What exactly is it that causes one's blood to boil in the most delightful of ways? Yes. You see, when blood of an individual starts to go cold, you're on the right track. When you're on the right track, well, there's something there. And it always has a tendency to be a fear of the future. And I know why a lot of people have a tendency to be somewhat scared this time around. In case you didn't notice, nobody was saying 2021 is going to be my year. I wonder why that is. Did we learn a lesson? I think we did. I think we realized, could be possible we'd be jinxing ourselves. I think so. I think so many of us are so terrified of what will happen if we dare to say, this is going to be my year. Because to put it in a very, what does one say? Levity, jovial stance, as it were. When 2019 was finishing up, delighting in its wonderful, wonderful work of the reaming that it gave us out of nowhere, 2020 stepped up and simply said, hold my beer. I'm pretty damn sure so many of us did not see that coming. Well, thank you, John. They're my own. Couple of 100 years old, this lovely little get up. In particular, this little thing. Grabbed it off from the 1930s. It's wonderful. So, why does it frighten us? What is it that scares the shite out of all of us? Makes us quiver in our boots as we drive around in our little automobiles? What is it that makes us say, dear gods, we cannot stand another? That we can't stand a sequel? I know a lot of people were outside screaming, Jumanji! I'm not familiar with this reference. When the new year struck, I remember when people were popping champagne at the birth of a new year. And yet now, it's quiet. It's like nobody wants to even blink or even whisper at the idea that this year might be good. Hmm. You see, there are some advertisements. Tyson, you're citing one, and I like that, so I'm going to do what I can to highlight that for you. Yes, I have noticed that broadcast advertisement, and it is interesting. It is interesting. I didn't realize I had a relationship with a Karen. Yes. We are walking around right now saying to ourselves, let us not make any noise because we don't want this year to be a repeat, a sequel. 2022 Electric Boogaloo, as they call it. It's terrifying. Sheena, I am so glad for you to show up out of the shadows for us tonight. It is great. But in all honesty, are we really that terrified? What do we have to look forward to, really? Well, I think we're hobbling from the savage raping that 2020 gave us. Oh, Gabby, I am so happy to see you tonight. I'm seeing all my wonderful donors. I mean, drops of shadow. How many blood types, I mean, walks of life do we have here tonight? I'm curious. So, considering that it is the new year, I figured we would talk about what it is that frightens us about the possibilities. Right now, we are in the middle of what many have deemed an apocalypse. Ironically, apocalypse is not the same as an Armageddon, although some people have equated it as such. Although Armageddon, interesting word. The interesting word for Armageddon, because Armageddon means revelation, and a revelation of things to come. A fear of the future, always something to be terrified of. Zombies are naturally not allowed, Elizabeth, although many have considered me such because I just can't die. Which is fine. 2020 could be seen as such. Everything about us was tested, pushed to its unbelievable limits. But you know what? We survived. We survived. Which means that only the fittest have managed to walk, and those that did not, we may miss them. It is sad. But we continue onward. We live eternally, my drops of shadow, to continue to embrace life as it is still with us and grow stronger because of it. I think that is a wonderful thing, don't you? I do. I need my drops of shadow to continue to spread. Yes. So, we have the future to contend with. We have already confirmed that there's life out there. Do you know that? Something that was glossed over throughout the year. We legitimately have confirmed life on the outside of our little rock in the universe. They admitted it. It's glossed over, though. So much more was going on. We have begun to possibly begin launching of moon missions. What will we find? How may we find it? Trina, I am so happy to see you here tonight. Oh, I remember the New Year's Eve broadcast. Nobody posts that hashtag. But I do say I rather found the idea that the months are going to be some of the most interesting we've ever encountered. Because so many of us will be expecting the ball to drop on our heads. So many of us are going to be terrified of what's going to come. Can it get worse? Might it get worse? Is it going to get worse? Oh my goodness. What could happen now? We've faced so much already. How can we possibly move on past it? It is a sense of paranoia that so many of us have been terrified to experience. I myself, I embrace it. Paranoia. It feeds the blood so lovely. Oh my, I see one of our newest lieutenants, JC. I am so glad to see you decide to pop in. It is delightful to see others of the Hellfire coming in. Yes, but I see that hashtag. I will burn you. I will lower you into a vat of acid. So, where was I? Oh, yes. You would, JC. You see, we're advancing in entertainment. We have the newest forms of game consoles out there, and all of their flaws. Virtual reality is beginning to take hold stronger than it ever has. But we still have a long way to go. Oh, yes. Welcome to hell, motherfuckers. Hell is the absence of reason, it is said, which is accurate. It's plausible. Many indicate that hell is the place furthest from the warmth of he who is above, whose name I will not mention. Which, you know what, I understand. A lot of people consider hell everything gone wrong. How very Miltonian of them. Some say hell, in many regards, is structured. Dante himself segmented it and created our own internal concept as to what the structure and architecture of hell itself was. And you know, I can understand that. After all, I have 2 or 3 condos down on the 4th circle. Yes. But we all anticipate. We all concern ourselves. Right now, we are in a state of permanent suspense, and Hitchcock would be laughing in his grave with an eclair in his mouth. And oh, the sweet terror of what's to come that we have yet to even begin to dance in. I'm pretty damn sure so many of you are saying to yourselves, where's my money coming from? Many of you are saying, will I be able to hold a roof over my head? The ultimate dilemma, the domestic drama, the, as one might say, unknown. And that is the root of everything. Because we got a dose of reality in 2020 that we did not think possible. A loss of absolute control. That's what happened. That was the root of all the fear. At least last year. This year, however, well, let's just say we're a little wary. Because we walked into 2020 feasting upon Tide Pods. And we walked out of it battered and bruised with a walk of shame to us, some of us grinning like Cheshire Cats, and others looking like Rocky Balboa at the end of the first movie. Beaten, battered, bruised, confused. It is a reality. A reality that now we have to embrace. What are we going to do with it? How are we going to right this ship? No one knows. All we know is that we're trying. All we know is that we're capable. At least we hope, with the right support. But while you're thinking of that, think of the fact that we are who we are. We will overcome. And you won't overcome alone. Because you'll have me here, watching over every single one of you while you sleep. I will be keeping an eye on all of you when you are not looking. The shadows are everywhere. Shadows never go away. That's what you must remember. Even in the brightest of days, a shadow gets cast. And everything that we have to look forward to comes from the darkness of our minds. Think about it. Technology. Technology developed from a need, a desire, a want, a lust, a concept of sloth and carnal edginess. And fear and a desire for some sense of entertainment. We have been living in fear for the last year, and now, happy new fear. Yes, happy new fear. I cannot wait to begin. I am curious what some of you think, though. And since you're so kind to expose yourselves to me, I shall expose myself to you, my drops of shadow. And I see that we have some of my Hellfire Radio attempting to poke the bear. Tyson, yes, yes. It was like the angry face of a pumpkin spice beer bottle, which I very, very, very consistently quoted as saying was labeled like a woman walking in on her husband banging her sister. Oh, how terrifying. Oh, Hellfire, you should behave yourself. Thou shalt not troll your own. But let us continue. I see that Elizabeth is hoping to balance out her life a little bit more. And yes, Gabby, I have every intent on sucking the blood dry. Much like a juice box. If you tear the testicles from one that doesn't let something go, will it continue to run? That's the real question. But I will say this. We are entering a time where we are at our most on our toes, walking on eggshells. And I wish I knew what we could do. But let us converse a bit. We have so much to keep ourselves distracted and entertained. Azazel, Lieutenant, thank you so much for appearing. My paranormal drop of the shadows. So glad to see you entering. Tonight, we're delving a little bit into the unknown, the uncertain, the slightly confusing. Takara, so glad to see you here. My wonderful friend, the host to chaos itself, which for some strange reason seems to have taken hold. But I will say it is a delight knowing that we all have each other. And Joshua, it is certainly something to look into. But I'm so glad to see so many. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, cash payments, well, if you're going to give me a cash payment, you might as well purchase merch from the hellfireradio.com site. Yes. Seriously, check them out. Now, it is wonderful. Et Takara. Do not. Yes, yes, this is a donation exception. For those of you that are curious as hell as to what the fuck they're talking about, at Evil Expo, which will be in February, a convention here in New Jersey, they have saw fit to auction off waxing my body in various regions and locations for varying amounts. It is rather terrifying, and all the money goes to a good cause. But it's coming at the expense of my pain, which they all know I'm not necessarily the most fond of. So, for the sake of a masochistic sacrifice, I am happy to do so to help those that are in need. I don't know who's under the Hellfire account at the moment, but you just made my butt clench. Azazel, you say so. I say nay. Truly. You're all nuts. You all love trolling me, don't you? Every last one of you. Just love it. You know, I wonder if your fear is silence. The fear of not being heard. I know that fear well. The fear of being without a capability to express any kind of speech. That is truly a terror for so many. We're yet to see that dawn. Corey, so good to see you. You know, it frightens me. So many of you frighten me. Y'all are gonna make me have to. I swear, every last one of these. You know, I wanted to be nice. You're gonna make me mean. I don't want to be mean. No. But I know it's going to a good cause, so I'll gladly do it. And then I'm going to break every single one of your jaws. Oh, interesting, Takara. So, this is the part of the show that I open up for questions of any sort in regard to the show topic itself, which I will put up right now. Give me a moment here, because I'm having some trouble. There we go. Yes. Well, Corey, usually around now, I break character, and instead what I do is I open up for anyone to ask me anything they would so choose. And ironically, this isn't a character, this is me. 99.9% of the time, this is me. Which tends to throw a lot of people off because they expect me to not be this guy that's always in suits and Victorian wear, but believe it or not, I am. If I'm not at work, this is me comfortable. When I'm out and about, this is me comfortable. This is what throws so many off. And yes, I have a tendency to speak rather eloquently when it suits me. Although when I do get thrown off, my inner Jersey comes out. And I start thinking of all the trunks of cars I could hide somebody in and all the places out in the Pine Barrens I could drop a body after I've drained it. It's not a treat, it's a rarity, Elizabeth. A rarity. Hello, Vanessa, and thank you for the wonderful compliment. Yes, I know I am sexy, but thank you. It's nice to hear it. It's all right, Corey. You didn't know. Right now, a considerable number of my station staff are seeing fit to draw attention to something I'm planning to do for a charity, a bit of a fundraiser, if you will, at one of the future conventions that I will be at, where I'm teaching some fun stuff for Hellfire. Alan, it is so wonderful to see you. And it's all to remember. If you want to have a particular part of me waxed, you must make the donation. And the donation is ultimately what it is all about. And that's the whole point. It's the only reason why I'm putting myself on the table and enduring the level of pain. People get to have the strip or the area stripped as they would so wish. 4 figures from what's between my thighs. Oh, yes, that's right. There we go. 1,000, Diego gets his other ass cheek tatted. 2 to 2,500. Scoops eats a spicy chip. 5,000. Scoops eat a second spicy chip. Well, Alan, right now, the rant commander is hitting the rack. Every Friday, I have the body. Clint Eastwood and Sam Elliott. You know what? I have to admit, I am highlighting that. That is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful amalgam. I have to admit. I have got to admit. I love that amalgam. Thank you so much, Corey. Although, if I was to dare put myself in such a particular role, I'm thinking more to the tunes of Doc Holliday. Alan, I will break every bone in your body. Don't feel bad. I'm threatening to break everybody's bones that keeps posting that damned hashtag. $8,000 and Scoops and Diego get each other's faces tatted on themselves. Rather interesting, but it goes to a good cause. Yes. I'm your Huckleberry. You're Daisy. You're Daisy if you donate. But it's totally and totally. Yes, I know, Takara, and I heard that apparently a lot of the Hellfire staff have been pushing that out a lot. You know, it's funny. I actually have a tintype. I have an old tintype of a photo that was taken of me. Legitimate tintype. It is what is known as silver bromide. Well, darling, not for nothing, get some sleep, as it were. The shadows will gladly embrace you again next week. Hang on just 1 second, folks. I will be back momentarily. Ooh, such a lovely item. This, by the by, is what is known as a silver bromide. One of the first photos that was ever taken of me. Didn't I look dapper? So old. Some might even dare say antiquated. Although I can't understand why. I find it to be a rather delightful image of me. In my youth, I think I was only 35 in that photo. So long ago, so long ago. Yes. It's a good photo. But not too many people get to see themselves in such a wonderful way. They say the photos capture the soul. My dear, they choose to wax my genitalia. That in of itself would terrify me. Because I'm not exactly an individual that is, as one may say, non-hirsuit. You know, it's funny. Somebody during one of the other Saturday broadcasts that we have here, they had no clue that my hair was anywhere near this long. Because normally, when I am the rant commander, I have my hair pulled back and it's underneath an army cap. It's funny you mention that, because guess what? You've got the cigarettes, you've got the coffee, and by the by, I've got the whiskey. And that would be true, except for one small little bit. Nobody's ever called me fuzzballs before. As a matter of fact, if anybody ever got close enough to be able to make such an assessment, usually my balls were in their mouth and they weren't saying much of anything. By the way, tell your mother I said hi. Oh shit, that was one of the Hellfire radio staff. Apologies there. I have to admit, that was a damn good burn. Even by my standards, that was a delightful burn. Does that mean that you're up next? My goodness, you're gonna keep on doing it. I have to wonder if this is Adam or JC. It's one of you two. I know it's one of you two. Because you guys are running this into the ground now. Yeah, sure you are. Let's see. Somebody that has a lot of free time this time of night. Where would they be? 4 hours back. It's 9 o'clock where you are, isn't it? I'm willing to bet if I know it is who I think it is. This is Law's duplicate, isn't it? No, wait. You wouldn't have the balls to try and insult me this soon. I know you're not telling, but I know it's one of you too. No, it wouldn't be. If it was Scoops, he'd have found a way to hop into my feed and then constantly do the immediate glitch, and thus the glitch commander would suddenly be popping up. So, who knows? But I have a pretty damn good idea. So, I'm thinking that. What's the best way to put it? I'm thinking that tonight, since we've been talking about what is going to scare the shit out of us for this coming year, it's that we don't know what's going to be going on. We still don't know. There are solutions that are coming up. Yeah. We've got advancements in science. Yeah. We've got several different things that are all just coming out in regards to the universe itself. So Yeah. We don't know what it's all going to come to. Corey, Tyson isn't with the station anymore. So we don't know what's coming. But Tyson is still the boss. He's my brother. But, you know, the uncertainty is going to get us completely and totally riled up. It's going to be something that makes people watch the news a lot more extensively. You know, people are going to be looking for confirmation bias. People are going to be looking for anything they can to either credit or discredit whatever it is that doesn't fit their personal narrative. I mean, what were we dealing with 2 years ago? Flat earthers? And everybody was saying that the earth was flat. What the hell? Like, really? Really? You know, we got so much other crap that's coming down the pipeline, and we can't determine what direction we're going to go. You know, we got a massive paradigm shift that's coming down the line when it comes to things of power. And well, you still got me, Corey. Um, and we're really, 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 really pushing to get things rolling. Oh, don't be on your best behavior, Trina. I want you to be on your worst behavior. Please. I shot you a message, Trina, on my performer account, a direct message earlier. I had an inquiry for something that you spoke about in the feed last night. Um, trying to think what else. There was so much that we need to distract ourselves just so that this way we can get through things sanely. And I want you all to get through everything sanely. As far as the murder hornets being brought back, they're not a problem. They're only a problem to people that are afraid of them. It's not even that bad of a sting. So, anybody got any questions for me? Comments? Wow. It's been a long time since I stumbled over that. Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, cash payments? Check your message requests, Trina. If not, you can add me, because if anybody ever wants to come talk to me directly, by the way, check that out. Okay, you have that. But also, if you ever need to, get a hold of me, you can always reach to me there or to my performer account. Just look up Baron Voltage on Facebook Messenger. I am happy to talk because I legitimately am without much else to do. When I'm not doing this or I'm working, I've got nothing. I have no social life anymore. So, all I have are you, my family, my drops of shadow, and for the rant commander, his firing squad. And I love that it's so diverse, both. Every once in a while, I get some overlap. Some folks that only tune in on my Friday night show, and some people that tune in for the Monday through Thursday show. I love it. I legitimately love it. Because it means that I can actually engage with everybody. And I love being able to engage with every single one of you. Because this is legitimately my life. You guys are my family. All of you. Folks that are on YouTube, the folks that talk to me there. You got the folks that, you guys are it. I mean, at Christmas, I got no phone calls from any family. But I did get messages from all of you. I got messages from the Hellfire staff before I got messages from my family. Relatives, sorry. They're relatives, not family. You guys. And it murders me on the inside every time I have to like cancel a show. It really does. I felt so bad for missing you guys on Monday. I had a lot of shit that I had to just get out. And I wouldn't have been able to give you guys the show that you deserved. That's why I came back hard on Tuesday. But, you know, you guys deserve the best from me. And I'm happy to try and give it to you as best as I can. Because you deserve that. All of you do. You know, and knowing full well that every single one of you, I can almost guarantee I'm going to see next week if you only tune in for the Friday show, or I'm going to see you all on Monday. You know, that from the bottom. Seriously. Every last one of you. I have these guys to thank. Hellfire Radio, man. If you haven't already, share this out to groups and timelines and friends. Let everybody know. This is the place to be at. We got some kick-ass shows out there. You know, you got 182. He's new guy, Adam. Does some kick-ass tech shit. You know, seriously check him out. All right, he's got a show that goes on. You've got Justice, you know, with Greetings from Disgraceland. They're usually on before me. You've got Scoops and Mischief with like freaking 5th and 24. And that's with Diego as well as Adam. You've got freaking Friday Fuckery and Shit Show Theater with Scoops and Mischief exclusively. Okay, and you got the Monday Night Ritual with them as well. Not to mention, you've also got Paranormal Talk with Azazel on Thursdays, if I'm not mistaken. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think. I gotta take a look at the schedule again. It's been a minute. Okay? And we don't just have stuff that we broadcast. We also got some kick-ass writers on the website writing up some kick-ass reviews to music, you know, to all that. And me, even I'm going to be a writer for this station too. You know, I'm working on some reviews of my own. So we got some kick-ass shit out here for you folks. You've got Novella with her shows that come on every once in a while. She does a pretty cool Wicked show that I've noticed. You've got freaking Brews with Cruz. That show goes on. You got freaking Inked and Chattered. That one's a pretty damn good one as well. I highly recommend. Every other Saturday, we also have Craft Beer Corner, where I pop on with the whole Hellfire crew. And they have a ball doing what they were basically doing to me all day, all night tonight. The only difference is I get alcohol involved too. Can you imagine me being a little plitz fatigued? I'm pretty damn sure that you love it. I'm happy as fuck to do it because you want to know what? I know for a fact that you folks will help me out. And as long as you folks help me out, I'll be able to be here, be able to help you folks out. Because I'm here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Same time and channel. 11:30 p.m. Central, 12:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. Mountain, 8:30 p.m. Pacific. Because you guys are awesome. Oh yeah, 8:30 p.m. whatever the hell Hawaiian is or Alaskan. You know, I'm working on that one, Tyson. I'm not gonna lie. I just gotta hammer that out with the rest of the staff. Try and see what I could do to roast the hell out every single person. But that's more rank commander gig. And I'd love to do it. And I'm thankful for you tuning into every single one of my shows, Alan. It is awesome to have such a dedicated fan. Right from the bottom, man. Right from the bottom. You know, and I know that I'm on late. And if anything, you want to know what? That just shows me that you guys are the best. Because you guys will stay up late for my ass. That's dedication. That is fucking dedication. I am grateful for all he is. But I think that's going to do it for me tonight. You know, unless anybody's got any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, cash payments, I'm right here. Ask me anything. You know what? Shoot a thumbs up if you got a question for me, but you're afraid to ask it in here. You can contact me directly. Shoot me a heart if you just love the show. And I'm happy as fuck to accept it. You know, I'm the resident vampire for the station, and I haven't had a drop of blood in too damn long. I'm feeding off of my damn reserves here. God damn it. You know, I'm going to find out which one of you was doing it. Well, thank you, Sheena. That's... Seriously. Thank you. I think that's going to do it for tonight. Yeah. And you know what? I mean, in all honesty, folks, I care more about you guys still being able to be around. You know, be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Be excellent to each other. And, you know, you might see something new soon from me. Maybe. I gotta see what happens. But, you know, I mentioned it was maybe a couple of weeks ago that something may be coming to me in the mail. When it arrives, believe you me, I'll be super fucking happy. Let me take a quick look there, Trina, because I don't have Facebook up on this thing. I have it on this. I'll take a quick gander. Just to make sure that I got you. But yeah, anybody that's got any other issues or anything along those lines, just let me know. There you go. All right. I got you set there, Trina. I got you. I'm happy as fuck to have every single one of you here. There we go. And boom, just fired you a lovely little emoji there. Hopefully that went through. Sabrina, I'm so happy to see you. You're popping in right around the time when I'm getting ready to call it an evening. I am from Jersey, the Garden State itself, the place where most of the bodies are hidden and where you'll never find Jimmy Hoffa. And if you do, you looked too damn long. But anybody's got any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, cash payments for me, please, by all means, ask away. We're in the part of the show where I answer any and all of your questions. Because I just saw an influx of people come in, so I figure I might as well at least offer that before I call it an evening. No, he's not under the Meadowlands. I looked. He's not under Gate A at Giant Stadium. He's not under the 50 freaking yard line of Giant Stadium. Oh, I believe it, Sabrina. I definitely believe it. I'm also a part of a small group that's known as the Filthy Sinners. Wonderful people. But seriously, folks, I'm happy to answer anything you ask. Anything at all. You can't shock me. I'm Baron Voltage. I don't get shocked. I shock. I think the Pine Barrens would be one of the easiest places to look. I know where he is, and I'm not talking. You'll never find out. Here, I'll give you a hint where he might be. He's buried underneath what I'm sitting on his body right there. Okay? There you go. That's why you'll never find him. I'm sitting on his body. Or at least his body is where I was sitting during that photo session. DB Cooper. I haven't heard that name in so long. Son of a bitch jumped out of a perfectly good airplane. Oh, I don't know what the delay on the stream is. Um, Actually, I prefer to stick to my own blood type, Dawn. And the last time I checked, my blood type was B positive. And I like to feast on my own. It's more like an interesting, it's like a nice full-bodied cognac. But if I'm looking for more of a rosé, I'll definitely go with O negative. And A B positive. Quite literally, a B positive. Oh, the positive vibes. Hey, there you go. You're O negative, dear? This I'm going to be having me a feast. How wonderful. AB positive is a lot like. No, I don't think it's a more low. I think it's more. A Chardonnay. I would think. Well, there you go. It's not bad, Tyson. Not many know theirs. Me, I know because I'm me. And I always be positive for the good things in life. Has anybody else got any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or remote cash payments? Again, I'm happy to answer any question you field in my direction. You have the evening. Since I am the last show for the station, I have no plans. You know, someone actually asked me at one point whether or not this was real. And the only thing I could say to them is I'm rather attached to it, so I would feel it is real. Oh, what's the matter, Sabrina? Did I leave you speechless? How delightful. Contact your nearest Italian friend, Elizabeth, or you can do so yourself. A beautiful DIY is to go to a nearby used car lot. They have a tendency to always leave their car doors unlocked. You only need to pop the trunk. Easy way to hide a body. Don't ask me how I know that. See, those that are most silent have a tendency to not scream when being feasted upon. Though I do like a screamer. Mm. Any other questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or cash payments? I'm really curious. Mm. Something tells me, dear, you're not used to being so easily confronted. Depends upon whom, Don. I myself own neither. I go, as they say, commando. You could just easily go the way of the Iceman himself, Tyson. Liquefy cyanide and spray it upon them when they least expect. Elizabeth, the answer to that is yes. Mixed with garter belts. That is the only acceptable answer to that. You should know better. Mm. You know, it's funny, Sabrina. I can't believe I've got you flustered. I do have ink, Vanessa, yes, as a matter of fact. And this will probably entice some of you wonderful, wonderful people. I do have ink. I have 2 bits of ink. And only 2 so far. Apparently, at Evil Expo, I will be getting a 3rd in a rather nether regiony area. So I will show you my ink, because I am me. As you can see, I currently have this piece here. This is what I sign all of my artwork with. It is my initials, CR. As you can tell, I have the C inverted to accommodate the length of the R. And then I have this. There you go. I received that on Black Friday of 2007. Does that answer your question well enough there, Vanessa? And for those of you that are wondering, is my voice really this deep? The answer is it goes deeper. I'm legitimately intentionally tensing it so that you can understand me. I go downright unintelligible because I was born with a defect to my vocal cords. Unfortunately, they were rather too large. So I had to go through speech therapy growing up. And I learned how to manipulate them so that people could understand what I was saying. What you are hearing now is a blend of my presentation voice and my natural voice. And, pardon me, This is what most people hear. It has a slight nasal tone to it. And I wish I knew how to be able to modify that. I can't. But my actual voice itself, it drops about a good 30 or 40 registers. And once I do it, I'm not tensing up again. It's painful to have to tense up again when I release it. So it's an old muscular exercise. And because of that, I did a lot of years of voice acting and vocal manipulation. And eventually I learned how to be able to, you see, you hear it now. This is my actual voice. Not too many people hear it that often. Thank you very much, Vanessa. Unfortunately, for the longest time, my voice acting days have gotten me to start doing a lot of artificial accents in order to be able to fit into a situation. And because of that, it is in many ways like hard as hell to escape an accent once I start falling into it. That's why you heard me doing what one might call a British accent. Others might hear me doing an Aussie or an Irish. I throw into a Southern every once in a while, and on occasion, I also tend to drop into an announcer's voice. Well, thank you very much, Trina. I appreciate that. What's wrong, Sabrina? You seem a little flustered. Mind you, as a hypnotist, having a voice like this tends to be a little bit of a problem too, because I have to spend a lot of time tensing it to be able to have the subject understand what it is I'm saying. Can you guys understand me? Because I'm curious. If I need to tense again, I'll tense again. Because I honestly don't know how well my voice translates to the mic, or at least this mic. That's right, Sabrina, I am. And I also know you had an interest in learning more about that. Well, thank you very much, Elizabeth. I'm glad to hear it. So, I'm probably going to be hopping off here soon. Does anybody have any last minute questions? I know one person at one point asked me, do I know about Corpse? I'm familiar with Corpse Husband. His voice and mine are very similar. You're sweet, Dawn. It's all right. I'll hit you up later. I'll hit you up later. Don't worry about it. That's it tonight, folks. Thank you so much for coming in. And as I always say, good night, sleep tight, and if you ask nicely, maybe I'll bite. Good night.